I'm glad you've mentioned Zalo because I've wanted to speak to someone about Zalo for a long time. What is it that makes it so popular among Vietnamese people?
Anh ơi anh có nhớ chăng anh đã hẹn với em sao giờ số số.
Welcome to You Don't Know Vietnam, the show that demystifies Vietnam for global audiences by talking to the creatives, trendsetters, and business owners who are taking on the market. Forget what you thought you knew about Vietnam, it's no longer that, as you're about to find out. I'm Ian Painter, co-founder of We Create Content, a content marketing agency that builds audiences for global brands in Vietnam. On today's episode of You Don't Know Vietnam, I'm talking to pioneering tech reviewer Vinh Chung. Vinh is the founder of the Vut Ver Studio, a team of independent tech reviewers on YouTube with more than 2 million subscribers. Today, Vinh tells me why people in Vietnam are so crazy about Apple products, the worrying issues around data security in Vietnam, and his top tips for staying safe online. He breaks down why homegrown app Zalo is so popular with more than 85 million users and offers insights as to how global brands can best build audiences in Vietnam. Vinh ơi,
Xin chào Ian.
thanks for joining me on You Don't Know Vietnam.
Actually, it's my honor because my dream is to have a podcast or make a video to share people know more about Vietnam technology.
As the first independent tech reviewer and the pioneer of independent tech reviewing scene in Vietnam, I thought you'd be a great person to speak to with regards to technology.
Okay, so I want to become an independent tech reviewer because before that, I working for a retail store and people always say that you are working for a retail store. So you are seller. So that means I can't believe what you say because you're trying to sell more product for me. And that's why I want to become independent. So my opinion will be better for everyone.
So you offer independent, unbiased advice about technology in Vietnam.
Yes.
What do you notice about the tech trends driving Vietnam forward today? What's going on with regards to the tech landscape, would you say? What's hot and what's not?
So Vietnam technology is changing very fast in the past few years. You know that Apple just officially go to Vietnam in the last 2 years. But before that, a lot of people already using iPhone. So you can see that Vietnamese people love new technology. They love big brand come to Vietnam. So right now in Vietnam, in the top number one in the high-end product, you can see like Apple and then Samsung. But most of the Vietnamese market is from China, brand like Oppo, Xiaomi, Vivo, Honor or something. And right now, Chinese brands are trying to get to the higher level product from 10 million Vietnam dong. And before that, the Chinese brand only can sell product in the mid-range around 5 to 7 million. But you know that if you just keep selling at that price, you will never get like a lot of money from end user. But in Vietnam right now, because people, when they spending more than 10 million for a product, they won't care most about the brand. Because they think that if I spend this kind of money, everyone can recognize what phone I'm using. They don't want to spend a lot of money on some product that nobody knows. If you buy a car, some Vietnamese people will not buy a new car from Toyota or Hyundai or something, but they will buy the old car from Mercedes or BMW because they want people to know that they are rich. They try to show off who they are. So it's the same with other products like smartphone, laptop, and anything. If you go in a big city like Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, Da Nang, Nha Trang or something, you see a lot of people using iPhone or iOS. They will buy iPhone if they can. Yeah. So that is the very trend in Vietnam that people always buy something and they will buy some famous brand. In Vietnam, every time new iPhone come out, people will come to the store at midnight from 10 p.m. So people waited like until the morning to get the new iPhone as soon as possible. Even though they can wait at home, And in the morning, the store will bring it to you. But no, they're going to come at the store waiting the very long hour just to get a new iPhone. When I go to the store, I met a girl. She is a live stream TikToker. She is selling product on the TikTok. And she said that she buying a new iPhone just because of color. And the very funny thing that every time Apple release a new iPhone with a new color, that color will always sold out first. They always buy the new color of the iPhone because the Apple product, if you look from behind, for a very long time, like past 4 years, you cannot tell the difference between the new iPhone with the old iPhone, right? The only way you can find the new iPhone is because of the color. So that's why people always buy the new color to make sure everyone can know that they have a new iPhone. And also that like 80% of the new iPhone come out is the Pro Max. They always buy the latest product, but it must be a Pro Max. And then like only 10% will buy the iPhone Pro and 10% for the normal version and the plus version. So Vietnamese people, when buying new product, they will always buy the max option of the product, the most high-end product in the lineup. They're not buying the cheap one.
And they're buying it every year. A new iPhone comes out.
Yeah, every year. I think people have a passion with the buying new stuff to show that they have catch up with the economy, catch up with everyone that, yeah, hey, go to coffee, they can show that, yeah, I have a new iPhone, I have a new product, I have something to show them off that I have new. So I think it's really famous now, especially with the Gen Z in Vietnam. The Gen Z in Vietnam, because of the TikTok, because of the Facebook, because of social media. So when you go on the TikTok, a lot of viral trend right now is to show that you are the rich kid. They have a lot of video and topic on the internet. They talk about the rich kid lifestyle. So that's why make the Gen Z, they think, okay, I have to live like this. It's a real life. I have to have the fancy dress. I have to have a fancy boyfriend, have a amazing car. They have a new iPhone. So it makes them to rush to buy a new product just to show off, yeah, on the internet, to make a more follower, to make the people feel jealous with what they have. So right now, in my opinion, it's really toxic because it makes people rush into trying to making money and buy things that I don't think is really good for them. Right now, you can see that a lot of young people, they say that they don't want to study because they think it's very easy to make money online from TikTok and live stream. In Vietnam right now, you can see a lot of live stream on TikTok, but only see a girl, they're just dancing on TikTok. You can do really sexy thing just to get a donate. So that's why people can see that a young generation, you see, it's very easy to make money. Yeah, and I think it's very toxic.
I think they expect to be able to make a lot of money really quickly, right?
Yeah,
And I agree. I think it can't be great for mental health as well.
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of TikTok users in Vietnam. Do you know how many?
I'm not sure how many TikTok is there in Vietnam, but I can see right now it's the most famous social media app in Vietnam because not only the young generation, but also the old generation is using TikTok in Vietnam. And if you want to become a content creator on YouTube, it's really hard because you have to make a long form video and you have to edit the video and you have to do a lot of things. But since the TikTok came out, even young people like my brother kid, she only 10 years old, but she can do all the TikTok dance trending. She watch TikTok that she right now, she can dance just like them on TikTok. But she is so young. And I saw a lot of old people, they doing TikTok, they selling product. Yeah. So everyone can do a video on TikTok.
I read today on a new report by We Are Social that smartphone penetration in Vietnam is 98.9%.
Oh.
That's essentially 99 million smartphones in Vietnam.
And that's why you can see that with the fintech in Vietnam, I think that's only Vietnam and China using the payment method with the QR code. Because I go to the Europe, US, or even though I go to Thailand, I didn't see any country using the QR code to pay to using as a payment method. I can using the Apple Pay, I using a Visa card in other country. But in Vietnam, the most famous one right now is the QR code. So that's why everyone right now must have a smartphone. Even you can go outside, someone on the street, they're just selling fruit, they're selling something on the buy, but they still having a QR code. So that's why right now in Vietnam, smartphone everywhere, everyone using
Yeah.
from the young generation to the old generation.
With regards to the way we pay in Vietnam, I agree. I'm always using a smartphone. I hardly take cash out with me anymore.
Yeah,
But I am always using a QR code. I'm not using Apple Pay or Google Pay. What's happening there? Why aren't people using Apple Pay and Google Pay? If these devices and these operating systems are so rife, there's 100 million of them in Vietnam. Why aren't people using Apple and Google Pay?
if you want to use Apple Pay or Samsung Pay, Google Pay, anything, you have to have a POS machine, right? So it can read the information in the smartphone, so it can charge. If you want to have a POS, you have to register with the bank and the government. If I register with the bank, with the government, I have to pay tax and a lot of things, right? But in Vietnam, you can have a QR code and everyone can come in and pay with you with a QR code. That's why it's very good for Vietnamese people. Very easy to start a business. That's why the QR code payment method is exploding in Vietnam. Everywhere people can do it very easily with only a few steps.
I see. Are there any issues around data security in Vietnam with regards to technology?
I think with the QR code, we don't have any data in security. QR code are directly come from the bank. It's not come from the third party, but it's directly inside the bank.
And how about with regards to data security on a wider level? I get the feeling that people's data is being sold quite a lot in Vietnam. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I can say that Vietnamese people are selling information everywhere. I get a lot of call from other people saying that, do you have the house for rent? Do you have a house for selling? They keep calling me for years, even though I say that I'm not staying there anymore, but they still calling me every month. There must be 1 or 2 times they call me. Yeah. And also in the bank, others like the retail, they will send me the text message. They say that's their discount. You want to come up to try us at our service. And like when you are buying a new airline ticket, they will actually you send them a text message from different people say that you can book a car, go to the airport with a cheap price. Yeah.
So you book an airline ticket and then immediately you get a text message from a completely different company saying, you want to get a cab to the airport. You feel like that's a good user experience, or do you think it's spammy and scary?
To me, if I was a new guy at the new city, right? Like I'm at Hanoi, I'm going to Ho Chi Minh City. I never been there, so I think it's good. Like okay, I can check the price with different company, different service to make sure that I get a good price. But if you stay in Hanoi and you've been a very long time, and after a few times, I recognize that my information has been selling, and it's very annoying because not only the good experience that I can book a cab, but after that, a lot of other information, a lot of other company will send me. Like yesterday, some travel company they calling me that they say that we want to invite you to join a conference, and we will give you a free 2 day experience at our stay vacation. But after I say that, oh, sorry, I'm not being in Hanoi anymore. I moved to Ho Chi Minh City. And they just drop the call immediately.
Just hang up.
Because I know, yeah, I know that they are trying to invite me to their competition. And then after that, they were trying to sell me something. They trick me that it's free. Like they trick me that, yeah, you have a 2 day free to experience. But actually, when I come there, they try me to sell me something. If I want to get that 2 day free, I have to buy something to get it. It's not totally free. So my information being sold from the bank, from somewhere, they know that like my income, how much I can make a year. So they can target directly to their customer.
It's a bit tricky, isn't it? It feels like a bit of a tricky way of dealing with data and trying to sell things to you.
Yeah, especially when you are loaning money from the bank. You get a lot of call like that.
Is there no laws and regulations, data protection laws in Vietnam?
Actually, we have, but you know that the first thing government trying to do is they try to restrict all the SIM card on the market. So right now, the government try to make everyone have to register the SIM card. If you didn't register your SIM card, they will close and cut the SIM. So when they have a fake call or they try to fool you, people can find the information that who doing it. So right now I'm using a Viettel. After I get an unknown call, they will pop up asking me, is this call making you inconvenient? Is this call trying to trick you? And I can reply the yes or no. So it can come to the data to the Viettel. They can find that, okay, this phone number has something very suspicious. I have to control this phone number. Yeah. So that's why right now the government try to do it to get the information. The people is trying to trick you. I have a friend, she had been scammed for 200 million Vietnam dong. So one time she go to the Da Nang. She been there for 3 days. After she come back to Hanoi, there are guys faking he is a police. He can read all of her information. He can tell her name, her ID, and he can tell exactly where she been in Da Nang for the past 2 days. And why he know that? Because he follow her Facebook. He know where he check in, where her hotel, where she eat. So he say that you've been involved with the accident. Some people die because of the accident. So right now we have to find out that you are involved in this. He tells with my friend that because of that, we have to take some of your money to make sure that you not run away. So she's spending for him 200 million to make sure, and she believed that 100%. And I asking why she trusting him, and she said because he tell all my information. He know where I've been, where I go, my name. Because she put on social media, they follow her very strictly, and that's why they can trick her.
People use Facebook really differently as well in Vietnam. Everyone connects with everyone, whether they know each other or not. Everything's pretty much posted publicly.
In my opinion, if you're using a social media in Vietnam, you shouldn't post everything is happening right now with you. If you go to travel somewhere, you shouldn't post it right away. You have to wait, like when you come home, you should post it.
Wow. So it seems to me like there's all sorts of scammers around. It feels like you have to be really, really careful and keep your wits about you and be streetwise in Vietnam. What tips would you give to protect yourself online in Vietnam? What top 3 tips?
Yeah, so first one, I never post my family on the internet. Like my parent, I try to not post on internet because you know that my parents, they're very old. They can very easy to get tricked. So if I post my parent information in like their Facebook or everything, like other people can go to my Facebook, find them and try to trick them. Like they trick like, hey, it's my your son friend. So he lost his phone. So he tell me to contact you to asking some money, right? So my parent can easily get fooled with that. So never post anything with your family information on the internet. The second one, you never post your car or your motorbike with driver license or driver plate on the internet. Everything that related to you, like your ID, your bank card, everything, never post it online. People can using it to trick you. And the third one is never update where you are right now, where you go at the time, because they can have track your information. You know where you go, what you're doing, who you meet, and it's very dangerous.
So Ving, are there any Vietnamese made apps that maybe people outside of Vietnam don't know exist or are taking Vietnam by storm right now?
So I think the most two famous app in Vietnam right now, the first one is the Zalo. It's same with the Telegram, Messenger, Viber, WhatsApp. The first one come to Vietnam is the Viber, and WhatsApp, and Zalo. But after that, WhatsApp and Viber get out of Vietnam, and Zalo have ruled them all on the OTT market. So that's why right now Zalo is the most famous app in Vietnam. And the second one is Momo. It's a fintech company. It's working as a bank, but it's one of the pioneer with the QR code payment.
I'm glad you've mentioned Zalo because I've wanted to speak to someone about Zalo for a long time. And for those listening that don't quite know what it is, I think the name comes from maybe alo, right? Which is hello in Vietnamese when spoken on the phone. Is that
Yeah,
right?
Alo, yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's Alo. And because why it called Zalo? Because it come from the company VNG, and they have
Mhm.
all the brand of the product it with the Z. Like they have Z New and they have Zalo. Yeah, it's a combined with Alo and with the company.
Got it. And it's messages, it's voice calls, images, videos, all for free.
Yeah, all for free. And right now they have update just like TikTok. You can up a short video on Zalo.
What is it that makes it so popular among Vietnamese people?
The first thing is the call quality of the Zalo. In some countryside, the internet is not so good, but in the same low quality of the internet, the quality of the phone call through Zalo is very good. Yeah, I try do with the Viber, WhatsApp, also the Facebook Messenger, but it never as good as Zalo with the bad internet. The second one is Zalo is very easy to use. You can see that all other apps come from different country. So Zalo from the beginning they're making for the Vietnamese people. So the register and the UI, UX, everything is so easy to use. Even my mom can do it. My mom having an iPhone, but she didn't know how to make a FaceTime call. But the Zalo she can do it very easy. Yeah. And the third one, because Zalo is been pre-installed with a lot of Android phones selling out on the market. As you can see it on from the Oppo, Realme or something. So if you buying a new phone, you have to install your Facebook, you install your Viber, WhatsApp, but Zalo pre-install.
I see.
And the one important thing that the government and a lot of company pushing information directly into Zalo. So like the COVID-19, the government will always update everything officially on Zalo, not everywhere else. So that's why Zalo is famous number one in Vietnam. You can use this one as a tip for you to make sure that no one can fool you through a phone call. If you receive an unknown phone call, they copy their phone number. You paste it on Zalo and you can easily find their information, who they are. Sometimes I get a phone call, I can paste in Zalo, I say, oh, so this is my friend or something. They try to reach me. They just change a new phone number. So Zalo can, that's why it is so famous.
I read about 75 million using it. I also read that there's 2 billion messages, voice calls, images, and videos each day, which is a huge amount of communications.
Yeah.
Is it correct as well that companies can use it as a way to speak to their audiences, speak directly to their customers, and market their services?
Yes. Zalo from last year, they changed it to two different kind of the user. The first one is the end user like me. I only use Zalo to connect with my friend or something. And the second one, they do it for the company. So if you are a free user, they will limit your adding friend. You can add more than 50% for a month. But if you are as a company, you have unlimited. You can find everyone on Zalo. You can add in so many people that you want. And also they have a channel for you. So you can push your information to everyone subscribe to your channel. And also have the same function as a Facebook page. So you know that because Zalo, when you are a company, you will have a official account. So when you have an official account, it makes you feel that information is safe. Because on Facebook, on TikTok, you can buy the blue tick for you to verify you, right? On Facebook, scammer can buy the tick to make it look like real. But in Zalo, you can do it. So that's why it's more trusty.
I see. I read also when I was researching Zalo a while back was that 65 million personal accounts actually follow a business account on Zalo. So That's
Yeah.
quite a lot of people that are willing to follow a business account on Zalo.
Yeah.
Of those, apparently 89% of personal users agreed to receive telephone calls and notifications from these businesses. So if you're a global brand entering Vietnam and you want to connect with Vietnamese audiences, then Zalo is probably something you should be getting to grips with.
Yes, I think it should be the first. Right now, my subscription with the Vietnam Airlines, every time I get a flight, if they are delayed, they will send me notification to my Zalo. Every time I landing, they will send me notification to Zalo that where is my bag, where I can get it. I will get all my information from Vietnam Airlines, and I think it's very good for me. So it's more easy. Before that, they have to send me a text message or something. So if other company come to Vietnam, then they have some information they want to push their customer. I think Zalo is very great.
You mentioned it was possible for a brand now to post content as well, like videos. So would you say Zalo's a good way to build an audience in Vietnam?
I think with the young generation, it's not a good way to get in touch with the user because I'm uploading my video to Zalo, but I didn't feel that my video can touch with the right target. It's just randomly. It's not directly target my audience. I think it's not as good compared with the other social media. So if you get in touch with the Gen Z, is your main customer, I think Zalo is not a good way. You still focus on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, YouTube. But with the customer, like my parent, I think Zalo is a good way to interact with them. My mom never knew how to using Facebook, but my mom constantly reading news on Zalo.
If I hear you correctly, then to build an audience and get discovered among young people, you're probably looking at YouTube, you're looking at TikTok, Facebook, maybe Instagram. That's mass awareness. But in terms of like sales and customer loyalty, once you're already connected with people, certainly older generation, Zalo's the one.
Yes, that's right.
Got you. And with regards to building an audience, I mean, you've built an audience of millions on YouTube and other channels.
Yeah.
What tips would you give to brands when it comes to producing content, building audiences, and connecting with Vietnamese consumers these days in Vietnam?
A lot of funny thing I can study from. Did you know the brand VinFast from Vietnam?
Yeah.
Yeah, VinFast is a brand car from Vietnam. But you know that to success like this, VinFast have to go to other country first. They have to go abroad. From the beginning, when they release a new car, they release it in the motor show in Geneva. And they release a new white truck car. They bring it to the CES in USA, right? So the first one, Vietnamese people, their love thing come from abroad, from other country, especially Europe or the US. So VinFast, they know that. So every time they releasing a new flagship product, they always bring to the other country. So when the media talk about them, they always talk about, okay, VinFast is bringing it to US, VinFast in Europe, and Vietnamese people feel proud that Vietnamese product come to other country and people talk good about them. So that is a very good case study to understand, to learn from that. If I'm a brand from other country, I come to Vietnam, I will go to the media, I will book some topic to talk about me that, okay, this brand is very famous in Europe and what is success. And maybe I will invite some influencer from Vietnam first, go to there. I will do some marketing there. So people, oh, wow, this product from this country. Yeah, it's so amazing. And the second one is you have to do some charity. Vietnamese people love charity and they support the company that do charity in Vietnam. Right now, you see one very famous case study is from the milk company. They have a post on Facebook, and everyone, when you share, they will have more milk to keep from the mountain, from the poor village. So when you share this post, more kids will have milk. So that is very viral right now on Facebook. So Vietnamese people love company that do charity in Vietnam because they feel that, okay, this company not only come to Vietnam to make money, but they do something good for Vietnam. And the third one, when you come to Vietnam, they can collaboration with some famous artists singer that like Apple, when they come to Vietnam, they want to promote that iPhone can recording a very good video. So their collaboration with the Linh, she is a famous singer, Genji in Vietnam. They shoot the whole video with iPhone to show that iPhone can do a very good video. So if you do collaboration, you should do something very specific, like you have a product only for his fan or her fan. So when they buy your product, they can go to his concert. Only you, your brand with that singer can bring it to the end user, to the customer. So it's more effect. Not only just hire them to do a shooting or some commercial. It's not so good. It's not making enough impact to the customer.
Some sort of exclusive value offering for that community.
Yes.
With regards to the Tu Ling video with Apple, wasn't there quite a lot of controversy and backlash around that among audiences because they said it wasn't actually authentic in terms of how much lighting they'd used and things like that?
Yeah, so that's why after that, Apple released behind the scene video to show how it can set up to making the whole video. I know that when the video come out, a lot of people say this is fake. Never iPhone can do like this. So that's why they released a behind the scene. And I think it make a really huge conversation between the filmmaker and a lot of people. Like from the first time, they didn't talk about iPhone when they're shooting a video. But after Apple released that, now a lot of people, they say that I want to making a video. Should I buy a camera or should I buy an iPhone? It makes people really change the way that they think. Like me, I'm a YouTuber, right? I'm from the first time I begin to making a video on YouTube. So I go to asking, should I buy a camera or I buy an iPhone? And right now, a lot of people say, you just buy an iPhone, it's enough because it's easy for you to using edit a video. So I think it have a very big impact on the user right now in the Vietnam, especially you see that because of the user TikTok, they're making a video easy. So if they can buy an iPhone, help them to make a video more convenient, of course they can choose iPhone because if you buy camera, you have to know how to edit video, do a lot of stuff. But iPhone, you just put there, open some app, make a filter, record a video, that's all.
Yeah, yeah. So with the iPhone music video then, there were questions around its authenticity. Apple then released a backstage video to show that actually, look, we are being real with this. It is authentic. And the key takeaway was that either way, it created a lot of conversation, right, in Vietnam.
Yes, that's why.
I think it's really important when posting on social as a brand and trying to build an audience in Vietnam is to start and generate conversations.
Yes, yeah, that's right. All the brand right now to succeed in Vietnam, I think they have to make a conversation. You make people talk about it, even though it's good or bad or something, but people have to talk about it.
We were the social media agency for Netflix for almost 3 years. Yeah. And it was all about generating conversation. That was the impact that we were measured on.
Yeah. So I see, even though the way you using your account to interact with the customer, it's very funny because I saw that once a very long time ago, like the Netflix official account on TikTok, they comment in every video. So when people say it's very funny, they capture the comment, they share on social media, and it makes Netflix more viral in Vietnam because the comment is so funny. Yeah. So a lot of way to interact with the customer in Vietnam. And that is one of the way that you have to make people feel that you are very friendly. Your brand is not so far away and you're friendly. But it depends who you are. Like Apple will never do it. Apple always turn off the comment in every video they posting on the social media. Yeah. But a brand like Netflix or Spotify, they will interact with people so people can easily know more and using their service.
I think these brands as well, and we did a lot of work around this, was figuring out what the tone of voice was of the social media channel in Vietnam. And we wanted to behave and speak more like a fan than a brand.
Yeah.
In order to really resonate with Vietnamese people, generate conversation and keep the conversations going as well.
Yes, it's very important.
I like to end these episodes, Ving, by asking you, What are you most excited about for Vietnam's future?
I think Vietnam future is very bright ahead because we have a very young generation. They didn't afraid to change. They always want to try something new. In Vietnam, we already have some mindset of some product. Like if you buy a TV, it must be a Sony. If you buy a motorbike, it must be a Honda. If you buy a car, it must be a Toyota. Because in Vietnam, from 50 years ago, these products come to Vietnam first, and they already have their quality recognized by everyone. So that's why they always say, okay, TV Sony, motorbike Honda, and car is Toyota. But everything is changed now. That's why a lot of Chinese brand car come to Vietnam, because I think they can feel that there's young generation, like right now they can make money from TikTok, and a lot of ways they can make money. So they can buy a new car, buy new product, and because of the technology that Chinese company can bring to Vietnam, so they can very confident that they can change the mindset of the young generation. Also, right now in Vietnam, the blockchain is potential too. We have a lot of company using and develop blockchain. A lot of company is using it right now, or even FPT software is a very big company in Vietnam. But it's a two-side way because blockchain come with a lot of scam too, right? The crypto always come with a scam. But the blockchain, I think, is a future. I know that we talk about a lot of negative thing, but you know that everything have a two side, right? Because right now Vietnamese is growing so fast, it's always come with the negative thing because we are not prepared for it. So we need time to get used to it. And I think Vietnamese market will grow faster after the 2025. I think 2026 is the best time to start something new for every company come to Vietnam. I think it's the time Vietnamese market is prepared for something new.
You've been listening to You Don't Know Vietnam. I'm Ian Paynton from We Create Content. I'd like to thank DJ Jace from the Beat Saigon for their epic soundtrack, and a massive thank you to you for making it all the way to the end.